Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We are in Upland and I have a lot of really exciting stuff to talk about today. I had a pretty cool personal achievement in the game. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Queens release and how that's going. I'm going to talk about the lazy nodes and how those are going. Some really exciting news there. And then I'm doing an impromptu contest kind of in this video as well. So I have real life investing, flips, rentals. I'm an agent, I'm a broker, and I've written some books and have online marketing for real estate as well. So I was never really a traditional marketer in that sense, and I had weird contests there. So that's one of these weird contests. So at some point during this video, I'm going to do something I don't even know yet, and the first people that comment and mention that will get a free Henry Ford property in our lazy node in Henry Ford, because we have really cool and exciting stuff in there. So while I'm doing this video, think about how I'm going to do that. But first off, we love the likes, love the comments, love the shares, love seeing new subscribers as well. Okay, so I'm in Queens. It was released last week. I haven't done a whole lot over the weekend here, but I did buy a few more properties. I think I bought some, up in the Bayside area. Where else? I didn't do a whole lot. It's For some reason, Queens hasn't been that exciting for me. Maybe it's because of the start. I had a rough start getting going. Even my Rockaway Beach Boulevard properties aren't really selling very well. I think I sold one so far. My Arvern, if that's how you say it. We've sold quite a few here, but I had so many to start with. And I actually bought some more in here that were super cheap as well. And what I'll do is I'll go to upexland.me and just go to Queens and type in Arvern and then kind of see what is for sale and what's available here. And the prices, the price has gone up a little bit. I bought a couple for $7,500 in here, I think. It was dropped way down. And then I listed a couple in the 12.2 range and they sold right away. So that's a good sign. So what I've been doing, I know some people have been just flooding the market with properties, but I'll just try and list a couple at a time, kind of below the floor to get them sold, because I don't want to, I don't want to destroy the floor. And I feel like sometimes that happens when people just list all of them really cheap. So, we'll list one here for a little bit cheaper, and then we'll list another one, but I'm not going to list all of them that cheap. And that seemed to work pretty well. But we'll just, that's really going to drop the floor if I do that. All right, so I've just been doing that. And yeah, I have been selling some of those. So that's been working. This is probably my most successful minting area so far in all of Queens. Like I said, I sold one of my Rockaway Beach Boulevard properties. But these are pretty affordable and not really selling. This is pretty affordable for a beachfront and not really selling. I wonder if those sold or not. Those were for sale. The same person had those. Oh yeah, I think he just took them off the market. So it's hard to say. I think a lot of people are just waiting for collections right now to see what happens. And for our node in Queens, I do want to do a node somewhere. I'm just not sure where. Someone had a good idea of just doing, one of the Rockaway Beach area neighborhoods that isn't a collection. But I'd still love to do Arvern since all my properties are there. But I'm still just not feeling, I don't have a really good sense of where I want to do a node yet in Queens. It's been difficult. I did do one trade, which we'll see if it's a good one or not. Someone traded me one of my Venice Beach properties in Los Angeles for this one right here. That property I think I minted for $66,000. This one was minted for $34,000, I believe. But it's waterfront. So that's kind of cool. I feel like every time I buy a waterfront or get traded for a waterfront, it does pretty well. So I do have a waterfront there. All the rest of the ones for sale on that waterfront seem to be a lot cheaper until I click on that, and it's cheapish. So we'll see how that works. I might lower the price on that one. But I had a lot of Venice Beach properties just sitting there that are not selling. So at least we're getting some more action and excitement by buying that one. I bought a couple of properties in Kew Gardens. That's what I did. So I talked about that a little bit before too, how those prices weren't quite as high as I thought they would be. And then Radish Head or Upland Analysis mentioned, hey, the mint prices were so low, they actually have gone up a lot. And they did. He's totally right on that. And I kind of think I mentioned that in my last video too, where some of these mint prices were super low and getting, 8-9% markup. Well, there it is, 700. Still pretty good. So I bought a couple, and I think they were in the 27,000 range. So that floor might be coming up a little bit too. Let's see, it should 26.9. Okay, so that floor is coming up a little bit. So that's good to see. But again, I'm just not as excited about this as I was the others. It kind of feels like the South LA release a little bit for me, where I picked some different neighborhoods and didn't get a whole lot on the streets, and it was okay but not amazing. And then North LA was way better because I focused on Sunset and Ventura. But oh well, it's still fun. So what is my super exciting news? I promised I would tell you. Well, over the weekend, if I go to my stats here, I got over 10 million UPIX. So I am now an executive. So that was pretty cool. So thank you everyone for help me for that. And it's really cool how I think helpful and generous people are in Upland. Like, it kind of blows me away sometimes, because it was pretty much one person who allowed me to do this, because I was not going to get there with the Queens release. I just didn't have enough high dollar properties, not enough selling. And I really, even with me spending a lot of UPIX in the Queens release to mint properties, so I needed some help from somebody, and that person, I'm guessing, probably wants to remain nameless because they did before too. But if you remember, a few months ago, someone gave me a property. They didn't give it to me, but they almost gave it to me in Morningside Heights in Manhattan. They sold it to me for mint, as long as I would build a property on it, which I did. And I joked about selling it right away. But I built a property on here. I can't even, was it this one? It might have been that one. Yeah, it was that one, I think. And I listed it for sale to try and help me get to the 10 million, because I just wasn't getting there. I really wanted to get there this week. And that person had told me before I was welcome to sell it as soon as I built the property. They just wanted me to build it on there. So it's not like they told me never to build it, or that was part of the deal, or never to sell it as part of the deal. Once I built it, they said, you can sell it, and I want to keep it for a while. And I listed it for 499,000 UPIX, and they bought it like right away and said, hey, congrats on becoming an executive. And that was really cool. So that's how I ended up getting there. That's how I got a lot of my UPIX increased here, and I have been spending more as well. But that was pretty cool. And I still have this other one in Manhattan too, with a building on it that I was traded. And I've got that for sale at $224,900, which is pretty cheap. And one thing I don't know if a lot of you know, you can search for properties on Upland. So you can see search for structures completed. I can look in all of Manhattan, and we can kind of see, oh, there's a pretty cheap one. 173 is the floor. There's mine right there. So I'm not quite at the bottom, but if you want to sell properties with structures or buy properties with structures, right, that's a pretty cool way to do it. And that's a pretty cheap one for Manhattan. So we can go to San Francisco and see what the cheapest properties with structures are there. 47. That's really cheap for a completed structure in San Francisco. Interesting, because the floor price, if we don't have it, is 32. Oh, the floor is dropped in San Fran. Boy, I might have to go buy some properties there now. That's interesting. Okay, I wonder what the floor is in Los Angeles now. Let's see if that's... The floors always drop for releases, but down to 8? Yeah, it's dropped not as much, a little bit. Okay, interesting stuff there. So, thank you to the Uplander who helped me get to executive status, because I was not going to do it on my own. I didn't list it in a crazy high price for $499. There was almost nothing for sale in that neighborhood. So I don't think he's like just giving me all that UPIX, but I definitely think it was generous of him to buy it at that price. And I know he's trying to work on that Morningside neighborhood in Manhattan. So pretty cool what he's doing, and he's not being real, look at me, how awesome am I about it. He's being real low key about it. So it's pretty cool. So in the generosity of the game, I thought, man, if he's going to do that and help me out, I need to do something else to help out some other people. So, how are our nodes doing? The lazy nodes in Detroit. We have the 8 Mile, which was doing pretty good, and then I was surprised by something I saw last night, so I'll show you what I did there. And then we have Henry Ford, and Henry Ford is doing pretty good. So, for 8 Mile, again, we can just go here, click on Detroit, and then click on, whoops, 8 Mile to see all the properties for sale. And this floor had risen to over 20, I thought, the other day. Oh, look at that. See? It is, okay. I'm going to do something here because I like to buy properties. And as soon as people give me UPIX, I just buy more properties. I kind of do that in real life too. So as soon as I get some money accumulated from selling properties, I'm usually just buying more properties. Yeah, that floor last night, I was just messing around. I usually don't record stuff at home because it doesn't work right, as you guys saw in one of my last videos. There were 2 properties for $12,000 on the 8 Mile, and I was like, holy cow, our floor really dropped. Our floor, I mean the floor. And so I bought both of them. And then look at this. It's already kind of jumped up again. So there's a bunch of stuff for sale last night, which is interesting. And now it's back up over 20 again because I just bought that one. So, well, it hasn't shown up yet, but there you go. So 8 Mile, I think, is doing well. And then the one we really want to, I really enjoy, is Henry Ford. It's so small. And let's see what the floor is right there. When we first started buying there, I was buying properties for under 8,000. I think I bought one for 6. Bought quite a few of them. And now, and that's probably like a month ago, right? Our floor is at 18. So the floor has more than doubled, almost tripled in a lot of Henry Ford, down to 65 properties. More properties are selling. So really cool. And something else I want to show you here is I have more exciting. I have lots of exciting news today, besides becoming. Oh, one thing too. Sorry, I became an executive during Spark Week, right? So I'm supposed to get my bonus. They gave me my. Oh, did they give me more? No, I have some other state. They gave me my 1 Spark for moving up, but they didn't give me my bonus yet. So I read up on it, and it said something about waiting till Tuesday to give out Spark, but they gave it to me right away. So if I don't get my Spark, my extra Spark here soon, I'm going to have to complain to Upland about that. But I thought that was anybody. I wonder if anybody else is having that issue too, or just me. Here is my first completed property in Henry Ford. So it's all done. Thank you so much to everybody who dedicated Spark to me. A lot of people did it. I know some of them I should know. And I'm so bad at figuring out who's on YouTube compared to who's in the game and remembering those names because a lot of people have crazy names. But thank you so much for contributing Spark to my build. And I started another one right here. So I have started a new build, 7409 Poe, and we have 11 days because I've got lots more Spark now than I did before to build that. And I wanted to kind of be close to the Henry Ford Hospital. I just thought that'd be cool. And then some other stuff, this big mansion. Oh, I don't want to offer it. Here is only 5 days away. But what's really cool about Henry Ford is on most of these properties I look at, there's people contributing Spark. And I don't know exactly how all that's happening, if it's just for me or other people getting together or what it is, but it's really cool to see. They just have one person, but lots of Spark being contributed around here. And the person next to me is almost done. And they're... Is it done? I was going to say, why isn't it... I know I was looking at contributing and it said it was full, but they should almost be finished too. Now, oh, an apartment's going up. That's amazing. That could take 383 days. Okay, might need to give them some help. All right, now before I get into the contest and give away some stuff, this person right here, I know it's a lot of people's pet peeve. Look how crooked your building is. So I know I looked in this before. You've got 327 days till it's finished. If you demolish that and rebuild it straight, I'll definitely contribute some spark to you, and I'm sure other people will as well. So it just looks so much better if they're straight. It doesn't have to be exactly lined up with us. That's cool if it is. But just if it's straight on the lot, I think that helps. And I know they sell better too, because I see on Discord, on Facebook, when people try to sell lots with buildings and they're crooked, people complain like, oh, I don't want that crooked looking building. So for your own good, for your own resale, and for just aesthetics in the neighborhood, that'd be awesome if you could rebuild that straight. So, okay. So why am I giving away properties? Because that one person helped me out and bought my property in Manhattan, the property that they pretty much gave to me. So just an incredible gesture of goodwill in Upland. And I see that all the time too. A lot of generosity in Upland, a lot of people helping each other, helping the game get going. So if you've made it this far in the video, pretty much what I'm going to say is whoever comments first, random property. Oh, it's 7618 Woodrow. Just comment that right now. I'm going to give you that property. So I'll figure out how to give it to you later. But comment, then we'll figure out a way to talk or DM, and then I'll figure that out. I'm going to give away another one too here. We'll pick a random one. We'll go down here. Let's see, right here. This one, 6388 Trumbull Street. So only one property per person, so don't comment twice. Whoever comments first those addresses, I'll figure out how to give you those properties. And you can be a part of Henry Ford. Or if you're not already part of it, then you can be a bigger, or if you are a part of it, you can be a bigger part of it. So really cool to see all the people contributing spark, the buildings going up, the floor going up in Henry Ford. I keep buying more properties there, so I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm up to 3, 6, 9, 15, 18, 20. So I'm up to 20 properties there. Whenever I see stuff kind of somewhat cheap, or I see, oh, I'm really close to a new floor, I just buy stuff. So that's been a lot of fun. All right, so that's all the happenings going on for me. Thank you again for everyone helping me get to executive status. Before we go, we'll just oh, someone offered to buy my queens for $13.5. What is that? That just popped up. Let's go see. Well, actually, before I say that, I did sell another Gratiot property in Detroit. So I'm still selling stuff in Detroit, even with the Queens release. And then I bought another one here that was actually named. And CJ, King of Car Loans. I thought that was really cool. So that's kind of why I did that. They asked $78,000 for it, offered them $68,000. They accepted it. People almost never accept my low offers, and it wasn't that low. But so that's kind of cool to see that. So I need to add that back to my collection here because I was out of collection, or just below. And then someone offered to buy that for $13.5. What property is that? Let's go see. I'm asking $15.9. Is that? Oh, I can never. 1030. No. 3019 46th. I think that's in the beach area, right? Oh no, it's not. It's Astoria. Okay. I only have like one property left in Astoria. Oh no, two. And so when I get an offer like that, what I like to do is just go to Queens, pull up the neighborhood, see what the floor is. The floor is $14.9. I'm almost at the bottom with that property. So I won't accept that one just because I like having a couple properties in Astoria, and that's way lower than the floor. So there we go. All right. So we'll see how the Queens collection goes this week. We'll have more videos for that, of course. I'll probably buy some properties after they're announced and see if I can make money or lose money, like I sometimes do. Get too excited. We'll see if any more of my properties here sell. Again, we've been selling some rather large properties too, just to get my UPIX up. Surprising in other cities. If we go down here, oh, like I said, Kingsbridge. My Kingsbridge property sold in the Bronx out of the blue. Oh, that's my Bel Air property in Los Angeles sold out of the blue for quite a bit. That's why I said the Gratiot, if that's Gratiot, however you say it. That one sold for quite a bit on top of the other really big one I sold. So been interesting how so much other stuff has been happening outside of Queens and not that much inside of Queens. And one last thing, sorry, I know I keep saying it'll be my last thing, but it's not. Upland said one of their goals with Queens and releasing more New York boroughs was to take pressure off Manhattan. And I think that's just a really silly thing to do, because being in the real estate world, you know, supply and demand is huge. Exclusivity is huge. The Manhattan prices aren't going to drop because of Queens, right? People aren't going to say, oh, I'm going to sell my properties in Manhattan and go to Queens. It's not about being in New York or the boroughs. It's about Manhattan, right? That's like the best place you can be almost in the game. And if it's the best place, you already know exactly how many properties there are. You already know what the floor is. You know people are building. You know people love Manhattan. It's just going to keep going. You can have 20 different cities released around here, and it's barely going to affect the Manhattan floor. It's Manhattan, right? You just can't transfer people from Manhattan to somewhere else because it's close. It's because it's Manhattan. So Manhattan's going to stay strong no matter what, because it's, you know how many properties are there. You know it's already going on. It's very famous. It's very expensive in real life, very expensive here. And you can see that now with Queens, right? Tons of unminted properties in Queens still, tons of cheap properties in Queens. It's not like everyone from Manhattan's just going to move to Queens. So as far as Upland trying to take pressure off of cities, I don't think it's going to work. And I don't think it's a very good idea either, because that's kind of cool to have these really expensive, popular, famous cities. And I think that really helps the game. It's not, you don't want everything to be the same and priced the same. That makes it fun and interesting. So that's my little spiel on that. Maybe I'll talk more about that later. All right, now I promise I'm done. I'm looking forward to those comments. I'll see who gets there first. Then I'll figure out how to get you those properties. And we love the likes, comments, shares. Love seeing new subscribers. Keep that coming too. I'm sure I'll do some more contests in the future as well. So they might be impromptu. Who knows? I might announce them. Who knows? We'll keep you on your toes. All right, take care. We'll be back soon.